UConn is victorious in Allen Fieldhouse for the very first time in program history. Gotta love it. We're going to talk about all the stuff. I'm still kind of buzzing about it, so let's just hit that intro music and let's get into it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. UConn, baby. Home of the champions. Let's go.
UConn wins a game in Allen Fieldhouse 61-56 off the strength of a lot of great performances, but I got to start with my guy, Brillan Mullins. 17 points off the bench. I can't tell you how much and how long we've waited for this moment. I've been super excited about this kid making his debut, and let's think about what he actually started his season as. Starts his first game in Madison Square Garden, then plays his second college game in Allen Fieldhouse. Now, as his father, Josh, pointed out to No Escalators on Twitter, even though those are big venues, Indiana does have 15 of the biggest high school gyms in the country. So he's not afraid of the moment, but this was about a total team effort. And I'm going to bring it back to Brillan as we go along. But the defensive effort tonight was some of the best I've seen from UConn in a very long time. And it really does. It's a character win. It's an absolute character win. This team deserves to, cherish this moment. If you think about this in terms of UConn and the accomplishments that they've had in their storied history, the fact that we could never beat a Kansas team 0-4 prior, all the great teams that have played them, and to go into Allen Fieldhouse and get that first dub is such a great win, and such a win that they can plant a flag and be like, listen, this is something that this team can always talk about. No matter what happens in the season, you can go years, and you could call up Alex Caravan. If you're Brillan Mullins and you're both playing in the NBA 10 years from now, you can call him up and be like, hey, remember when we took down Kansas and Allen Fieldhouse and how quiet that place got? That to me is so important to this team. And it's those moments that don't get talked about enough. I know, the initial part of it sucked because we were like, oh, Terrace isn't playing. Then you heard Darren Peterson isn't playing from Kansas. So some of the star power was gone. But man, you cannot talk about how jacked up this entire crowd was. Like, I mean, the announcers were in it. Fran Fraschilla, I love Fran Fraschilla. I thought he did a great game breaking down both of these teams and what they love to do. It's just such a great atmosphere. And I hope at some point I can get out to Allen Fieldhouse to see a game. But sitting here in my office watching this game in the second half in particular, and just really kind of reveling in this UConn slow, steady march down 7 in the second half to winning this game by 5. So they won that second half. Let's look at some of these numbers. I'm going to go and look at the box score. What a phenomenal dub for UConn. Can't celebrate it enough. It's 11:30, guys. I've not been known to be the yawning podcaster, and I don't give a shit because it's 11:30 at night, and you guys are lucky I'm even on this bitch right now. Let's look at this box score. As jacked up as I am, I want to wind down so I'm not up till 2 a.m, which is easily what's going to happen. All right. So how about your boy Brillan Mullins is the leading scorer? I mean, come on, man. Let's go. Had 17 points in 23 minutes. Remember how I said at the beginning of the year when he played that exhibition game against BC and didn't shoot well, he had 12 points in 12 minutes? The kid is so special. Also had 5 rebounds. 5 rebounds, a steal. Only had 1 turnover. He had that 1 turnover when he was kind of feeling himself and was going to go to the basket and kind of lost it out of bounds. That's just, lack of play. His dad messaged me on X and was just like, yeah, he just needs a couple games to get back into the rhythm. Well, it didn't take long. You know, I just think it's an interesting win. I sent a message right after the game to Josh's dad, or to Braylon's dad, Josh, and said, soak it in. Great win. Go celebrate as we go live. I really hope that this team is enjoying this. That's the good. The bad, I will say, is the idea that we have solved the point guard problem. We have legitimate stone cold killers on this team with Brillan Mullins and Solo Ball. But I would say the only negative of tonight was, look, man, I want to trust Silas. I really do. Made a shirt for him. I really want to trust him. But the bad of this is we almost pissed that away. What could have been one of the worst losses was obviously saved by Braylon's play, by Alex Caravan's awakening, so to speak, right? In at the end when they were down 6 and he went on a quick 7-0 run himself. And that was a quintessential Alex Caravan run in that game. Nothing pretty. I didn't even know if there was a 3 in there, but like a pump fake, got to the basket, a tap out, then he got a 3. My thing about Silas is this. Everyone wants to tell me, Mark, at the beginning of the Tristan Newton era, people didn't like Tristan. That's not me. And I know that people will say, well, where were you during that? I didn't really do any of this back then. At that beginning of that season, when we got Tristan Newton from East Carolina, I was like, awesome. You want to know why? Because I watched Tristan Newton play when he played at East Carolina. I live in North Carolina. And so I'm a hoops junkie. So to think about getting him into Dan Hurley's system from East Carolina, I was all for it. I didn't have an issue with his early play because I knew that Tristan had that scorer's mentality. I didn't expect him to be a 2-time national champion, but there's a difference if you're Tristan Newton averaging X amount of points in the American than bringing in a Silas Demary Jr. or Damari Jr. when that dude was a dog in the SEC. He was averaging 14, 15 points a game in the SEC and had these monster games against big-time competition. So my biggest issue is he's a bigger guard than what we've had in the past, but he has shown that it's not about his size. Like, he's just not making the right decisions in really key moments. And that's really imperative to the UConn success. So for all of the great of Brillan Mullins and all of the great of Alex stepping up when he needed to, and how about Eric Riba? Like, just completely, as Dan said, and Fran echoed this, that he's essentially saved the season early on, because if Eric wasn't ready, this team would be like 5-2 or maybe worse, because losing Terrace early and not having that anchor in the middle has been kind of in flux. Like, they've had to do a lot of different things. So Eric being able to score, being able to rebound, being able to hold his own. Dude, he just held his own against Flory Badinga, who, by the way, that there will not be another player in the league in that he plays this year that's more violent and that has more fast twitch and that is going to attack him the way Flory Badinga did. And Badinga is an NBA player. He will get there. His stroke is getting better. Riba has come along. That, to me, is more of a story than whether or not Silas is working his way to a certain point. Because if you have that two-headed monster, once Terrace gets right and we get into that Big East play, and then we continue to get the seeding that we want, this team is definitely, like I said, has the bones. And if they continue to come along, I have patience. I've said this all along. I'm not one of these guys that's writing players off. Once the bad game happens, especially when there's a dub, it's like Men in Black. You hit me with that little thing, whatever, I'm done. So my biggest thing is, Silas needs to get better. Even Malachi today, who played pretty good, needs to be a little more careful with the ball. Dan said it in his media availability. I was on that call on the Zoom. It's like we have to learn how to play, whether we have a lead or not, to be aggressive without being careless. There's a fine line. And you guys know this. If you played ball, it takes time to mesh. If anyone wants to come in and chat, feel free to jump in. I'm going to put the link in the chat here. Please join in and tell me your thoughts. Let's see. Let's go through some of these comments, man. You guys have been great. Got like almost 700 people in here. Oh, yeah. Freshman played huge. I mean, Joey, if you want to jump on, man. The link is in the chat. Let's get it, dude. Let's see. Let's see if I can get Joey Belmonts, because he's there. He's the one who sent me the fuck Dan Hurley chants. I mean, honestly, why do people do the fuck Dan Hurley chants? Like, is that Jennifer? I'm on multiple streams, my lady. I got over 700 people in here. This is not a 49. That's maybe just where you're watching. We got Manny. What's up, Manny? What's up, Manny? How you doing,
Enjoyed
man?
the game. Yeah, man. Can't complain. I gotta ask though, because I missed your last two streams. Like I watched them after, and I think like you said something like to the like you thought you were being hard on Jaylen, and I'm wondering like what do you think is going on with him right now? Because I'm lost.
You know what, man? Like I think if we're gonna be, I'm gonna say negative because it's a great win and we want to celebrate and stuff.
Yeah,
like
not
that,
negative at all. And
no. Like I do think the thing with Jaylen is like UConn's offense. If you're not the big dog and you're not getting touches, you have to make a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? You have to make the moment yours. Well, no, it's you have to do little things, but you also like when it's your opportunity to score and when it's your opportunity to take shots. I mean, how many shots did Jaylen get today? I'm gonna look at it right now. I know he had a bad shooting night, but he only took 2 shots and he was 0 of 2. He had 3 rebounds, he had 2 blocks. He only played 15 minutes because Brillan played great. So like, I think for me, like Dan just realized he didn't have it tonight. And when he does have it, when he has those games, he rides it. You know what I mean? It's like Dan. I feel like Dan has these guys, like whether it's Jay, Stu, Jay Ross, whoever's the hot hand between the two, he rides them. Whoever's not playing well, he pulls them and tries to find that moment. Hey Manny, real quick, brother, I got Joey Belmonts. He's in Kansas. I want to get him in there. Stay on the stream.
All right, yeah.
What's up?
What's up, baby? I'm outside the fraternity sorority having a blast. Let's go, Huskies! Woo! Pi Beta 5! Woo! 2.5 for the Christmas gifts. Let's go! Woo!
Oh my goodness! How about Joey Belmonts in Kansas getting after it, bro? Like, are we?
I got chased out of this. I got chased out of the sorority, so I gotta get out of here.
You might get a charge, bro. You may need to use your service.
Listen, catch me if you can. I'm the ginger man. I'm here with my family. We're leaving. I'm running.
All right, bro. I'll see you.
But hey, man, what a game! What a game! Mullins mania, baby. Got the shirt with me. I'm gonna send it to you after.
I mean, listen. What I'm telling you is, when people were saying, "Why do you keep pushing this guy's stuff with you haven't seen him play yet?" I'm like,
yeah.
Yes, I have. This dude is a stud.
Mullins mania,
stud. And that's why I made that shirt.
I brought the shirt with me. That's why he broke out. I brought Mullins mania to Kansas, baby.
Did you wave it around?
No, I wore the Terrace Reed and the hat. I brought your hat. What's it called too? It's okay.
I love it.
Say hi, Jeremy.
Hello.
What's up, big dog?
My cousins, brought him to the game. Let's go. UConn 2.5 for the Christmas gifts. Woo!
Oh yeah, your boy won a lot of money tonight. I won't lie to you. So I love you. Bye-bye. Manny, I had to, man. Joey's there. He's wild. He's wilding out.
I know Joey.
But you know what I'm talking about, though, Manny, right? Like, you know, this.
I do.
Go ahead.
And I really don't want to be negative at all, but I that's the part with Silas, and this is one thing that I think Tristan. I'm not saying he had it easier, but I really thought Andre Jackson was our point guard. Like when we needed to get in our set
to a
to
certain extent, yeah.
So Tristan kind of, I mean, he ran the point a lot sometimes, but like when we really needed to get in a set or something, Andre was the one that Tristan was more of a two, and he had an extra year in the system, and then you saw what he did his sophomore year, obviously.
No, and no doubt, and no doubt, and I think we label it too much. It's kind of like last year when, or 2 years ago when Steph Castle was in the draft, and people were like, well, you know, he wants to be he wants to be a point guard. It's like, well, Steph was a point guard at times at UConn, but he played a role too. Like, so like, it's really just about the sets that they're in and how it plays out. And as much as I love Jace too, I love his family's great. Like, there's a really good, relationship there, but I got to call it like I see it. Like, I don't think he's not progressing the way it is. And maybe it's because, honestly, man, like if you had this dude Mullins nipping at your heels all
that's
freaking
exactly
practice.
That's what I thought. I was like, I mean, after Mullins played for 3 minutes today, I said, okay, yeah, he's leaving. Like after 3 minutes, I was like, okay, yeah, no.
I mean, listen, I got a text from a guy who's I'm pretty connected now in this recruiting world, and he said, I hope you enjoy Brillan Mullins for the short time you have him, because that dude's not staying long. So from what I know, that's likely the choice, but I'll tell you what.
So me being a half glass full, I was like, when he got hurt, I was like, Jaylen's gonna, take this or Jaden, and they might make it hard for him to start. And if he ends up being a sixth man, and I don't know about his draft stock, yada yada yada. And I mean, I was at the Illinois game, and even that game, like Jay, he looks like after being in the system for 3 years, it should be muscle memory to a point, and he still looks like he's thinking when he's playing.
Maybe
like he's in his head. So just
all right, brother.
But no,
listen,
great W.
I got a great W, man. I always appreciate you, man. I'm gonna go to Steve, then David, then I'm gonna get to Silky. Okay, we got a lot of people waiting to jump on. Okay.
All right. Yeah, have a good night, bro.
You too. All right, Steve, jump on. What you got? Steve, you with me?
Hello.
What's up, dog?
Mullins has arrived.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and it sucks that Reed's out, but in a way, it's kind of good because the more time Rivalry gets in there, the better he gets. And he had a great defensive stop towards the end of the game that I believe won them the game.
No, I totally agree, man. I gotta mention something because my guy here was like, I hate to nitpick. Why are we going under screens on Council in the first half? 35% from the field, 17%. I think game change when we started up the screens too. Yeah, I agree. Like, Melvin Council is a bad shooter, so they. I mean, honestly, think about even DeMarco Jackson, whatever that guy's name is, who had 8 points in the first half. That dude is not a good shooter, or hasn't been shooting well. So when you're going with the scouting report, you essentially play to that scouting report, and when things change, like that's why when people were like, oh, I can't believe we're down 4, when I was talking to people at halftime, I was like, just patience. Like, the numbers are the numbers. Like, if Kansas wins this game, it's because they're treeing, they're like playing well above what they're usually like. Without Darren Peterson, their 3-point percentage is under 30%. So that was a big thing. Steve, one more point, man, because I'm going to go to some other folks.
Yeah, that's fine. And do you think if that other player played for Peterson played for Kansas, that Reed would have played, or they would have set him out regardless?
I think that would have won. I think it would have been closer. I think it would have been a different game because Darren Peterson changes a lot about what Kansas does. Like, you heard Fran Fraschilla, who's been a coach for years, and I talked about this on my show earlier in the day. Like, also coming out tomorrow on Big East Energy. Like, I do think that the Kansas has a better flow of what they want to do without Darren Peterson. When he's in the game, there's a lot of ball watching. There's a lot of isolation ball, and Darren Peterson's phenomenal. He could drop 20, 30 on you, but you're not going to get that same roll to the basket with Floyd Badinga, stuff like that. So to me, it's really just about it would have been a different style. I think UConn still wins the game. If they have Terrace, I think they win by 5 to 10 points. And there's a reason why they were still favored. Only the first team, one of the only teams to ever beat Kansas, being a favored road team. The last two favored road dogs, road favorites, lost by double digits in 2024 in Baylor and 2021 in Houston. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a different game, but I think UConn still wins. David, what's up, brother? Thanks, Steve. Love you, brother.
Hey, I'm David Quadri, man.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, I'm trying to say for too. Our defense this year, man, it is crazy this year. It's nothing like it was compared to last year, man. Our defense.
Oh my God, night and day.
What'd you say?
Night and day. Like it's a totally different scenario.
Like our defense, and I feel like, and I'm no offense, no disrespect, but I think our defense is what won us this game.
I agree. I mean, Kansas shot so poor in the second half, but it partly is because you had some really good contests at the rim without fouling. Dude, keys to the game at the end of my show this morning when I recorded that show, I gave multiple scenarios because it still wasn't. We still didn't know about Terrace. We didn't know about Darren Peterson. So I was like, if this and this happens, but I was like, the bottom line is no matter who plays, if UConn stays out of silly foul trouble, they have the better team. If you hang on long enough, the numbers will weigh out. They play a much better defense. The defenses are very similar in that respect, but offensively, UConn was a much better team. So it eventually, the analytics take over and the players play to the level that they're supposed to. And that's what happened. It unfolded exactly the way I talked about on the show. As I don't even care if I'm right about it. Like sometimes I'm happy to be wrong, but in this case, it just was the scenario. Like Kansas is an undermanned team, but they're playing at home in a tough environment, and the defense 100% shut that team down because they should. That's like the 50th to 70th ranked offense in the country without Darren Peterson.
Well, I felt like we still should have scored more points. Like, I feel like if you played them anywhere else, we would have blew them out.
Yeah, I think that's neutral site. Yeah, I think that's like I think if it's neutral site, they're about a 7 or 8 point favorite, and they probably win by 10 or 12. So I think you're right.
And if we had Terrace Reed in, I'm 100% because everyone plays their role so differently. When Terrace Reed is in the game, it's like everyone is like it's designed like everyone has it's like this team is like designing their own role. So it's like everyone plays their role so much differently. So the flow of the offense runs differently when Terrace played in Illinois, you know how pretty much like even though Terrace didn't have the best game, but everyone was able to shoot the threes well, and Alex Cameron had a much better game. He had a good game today. He had a decent game today, but like I feel like everyone just plays their role differently and much better when Terrace plays because it's like I guess the roles just shift a bit more, and everyone's so used.
Think about. I don't know if you listened to what I said or if you watch the show at all, but if you don't like. Okay, well, on one of the things I said about, Dan's press conference, I played a clip, the audio of it, talking about Brillan. You could say the exact same thing about Terrace, but from the post presence, like the gravity that Terrace brings in terms of his post presence, the ability to create space, the ability to basically suck up rebounds. Like if you put Terrace in this game, Flory Badinga is a non-factor. And I don't mean that to disparage him. He's just a smaller version of Terrace. And if Flory Badinga continues to get bigger and better, he'll eventually be as good as Terrace. Like Terrace is almost, I don't want to say double, like 40 to 50 pounds heavier than Flory Badinga and an inch taller. So like as far as like how you create space as a big man, it would carve up an entirely different way. Like, the offensive rebounding would be different. Maybe Kansas gets in a lot more foul trouble. Bryson Tillery can't, try to manhandle folks as a 6'11" freshman power forward because you have a guy like Terrace in there. Eric would play a different style of game because now he's free to not worry about getting fouls. You know what I mean? Like, so like, you're right. Like it changes everything. So the gravity of people's roles changes the complexion of the team and how it turns out. And I think that's the biggest aspect of this. And that's why Dan said at the end of the conversation, we had with him on the Zoom with all the media members is that at the end of the year, we feel like this team can be a top 5 offensive team and a top 5 defensive team. I think we went up to number 7 in Ken Palm in defense after tonight. That'll probably change a little bit. It's a great win. This is another great point too from Luke. Mullins would have been a difference maker against Zona. Absolutely. Like if Brillan Mullins plays, we beat Arizona. Like without Terrace. Like I don't think that people realize how good Brillan Mullins was until tonight. He played less than 25 minutes and had 17 points. 23 minutes, 17 points, and was 3 of 9 from 3. When that kid locks in from the 3-point land, it's another story. Like he missed some shots he's not going to miss. That's rust. So we're good. Anything else, David, before we go?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was you don't know how long I was looking forward to this game. This game, Kansas. I circled this game more than the Florida game. This game, Kansas. I've been eyeing this team ever since we lost to them at Fall Gathering 2 years ago. I've been oozing to play Kansas. I've been begging, and for another chance to play Kansas because I knew that we were 0-4 against Kansas of all time, and I wanted a chance to do something that we haven't done. And you don't even know how happy I was when we won this game. I don't care how many points we won this game, even if we had won this game by 1 point. I just wanted to win that game. And see Kansas fans start talking, perhaps saying that, oh well, we just lost to a team that we were much better than that. They're saying that Kansas still thinks that they're better than us.
Yeah, listen. Kansas also puts up fake banners in their arena. So like they have 19, 21, and 22 Helms titles. If you know what a Helms title is, then you're a better basketball fan than me because I don't give a shit. Like it's just a different. We're not built the same. Like Kansas fans, UConn fans. Look, whatever. There are really great Kansas fans. There are really great UConn fans, and vice versa. But I do find it really odd that they did the whole like "fuck Dan Hurley" chant when we don't play them very much. They certainly don't come back to stores. They don't return the favor. I don't know if I don't remember if that's happening. If it's a home and home, let me look that up really quick. Is Kansas? If anyone knows in the chat, feel free. Playing a home and home at UConn, because I know Arizona's. We're going to Arizona next year. Let's see.
Yeah, they did. I know that
they did. So they are coming back. Okay. So all right. So I take that back. At least they're not like Duke, who doesn't schedule us. Let's just we'll throw a little shade there. But yeah, they are. I think so, man, because I feel like what I think it is, and I've said this, and it may not be ducking us, but what I've said in the past is home and home games are better for college basketball. But if you can't do home and home, you should at least be doing neutral and neutral. So like, I don't care if Duke doesn't want to play us in stores and they want to go play in Madison Square Garden, cool. Then we should return the favor and go play them in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte or somewhere in Atlanta. So maybe they have a little more of a home court advantage because, as much as the dummies down here in North Carolina talk about how Duke, that's Cameron North or whatever the hell they call it. I mean, let's be honest. If we play Duke in Madison Square Garden, UConn fans are going to show out. It's not going to be – there's going to be a lot of Duke fans there too, but it's going to be like 70-30 max. It's not going to be like what they think it is. So I think that that's probably the only way that we play Duke. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think that there's some of the Hurley, stuff there too, where it's not that he's ducking them, but it is. I mean, think about it. If you're Duke and you lose to UConn in Cameron to Dan Hurley, Bobby's brother, it is kind of I feel like there's a lot of people that would look at that as kind of an embarrassing thing. I think John Shire's done a better job. He just played Florida in Cameron, and they had a really good game there. I don't know if that's a home and home, probably. If you schedule a home and homes, a lot of times whoever plays the road game first gets screwed, because what's to stop Kansas from just canceling the home and home? They can. If they feel like they have a shitty team next year, they don't have to come back to Gamble. They could change it, and then we would be screwed. So
Illinois,
that's part of it.
I heard Illinois. Speaking of that too, I heard Illinois literally canceled the home game.
Listen, I don't know for a fact, but I know that happens. Like, these people that aren't in this,
they're playing Merrimack. after the call that they made, especially after the call that they made, that call, that supposed bad call when that kid Malachi Smith hit the 3-point shot. For some reason, they got so upset, so they decided to I don't know. That's what I heard, and I seen it on a news post too that Illinois is gonna cancel the return game, but they were supposed to play in Chicago, but they're playing Murmick instead.
Hey man, like I said, that's why a lot of these coaches, even though they want smoke, they hide behind that because it happens. All right, listen, I'm going to jump, David, because I'm going to close this out. It's almost midnight, and your boys got to get some sleep because they got a busy day tomorrow. David, always a pleasure, man. Thank you for jumping on and giving me your thoughts. Anybody else? I'm sorry if you missed jumping on today. I really appreciate all the folks that jumped on. You know how much better a stream is when I hear from fans, when I hear from people talking about, someone like Joey who was at the game. Guys, this was such a big win. Like, I can't tell you how much of a springboard this can be for UConn going forward. I will tell you this. I'm going to give you an insight because I have a ton of people on, so I want people to hear this. So people maybe know this, but, we kind of have a little bit of a budding media rivalry with Field of 68. And, I know people hate Jeff Goodman. I know people, can't stand Rob Douster now that he's, all this different stuff, right? I reached out to both of them and said, listen, I want to squash all that. You guys do your thing. We'll do our thing. And I was looking for someone to do a Kansas show with me. And I reached out to someone that I've had on my show in the past, but he declined because he can only do shows that are under his Field of 68 contract. I know that's not true. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm trying to get more guests on that are outside of the Big East Energy Network, ecosystem. Like we did the thing with Arizona. The Sleepers guys are great. If you're not following Sleepers Media, the guys that do the Big Ten shows and some of the other college basketball stuff, Greg and Carter and those dudes, definitely do it because they've been phenomenal, really welcoming with trying to do collaborations and stuff like that. So I will always work with those Sleepers guys. Jay Mans, who's a Duke guy, even though I talk shit to him. I just want to let you know, I'm always going to try to get you the best content when it comes to UConn. I may not have the same access as one of my buddies like Jared Kotler, who gets Alex Caravan on. I may not even have the same access as some of these beat reporters. But what I do have is the pulse of the team. I know when I'm in those Zoom calls, when I ask Dan a question, he knows I know ball because it's a different response than some guys who are looking to just get, looking for like whether or not the Big East is expanding and all this other shit. Anyway, UConn, great win. Couple last things. Obviously, Brillan Mullins. Really, I tweeted this out and then I joked around like I gave the reverse jinx. Alex Caravan played not a great game until they were down 7 in the second half. Won on his own little personal 7-0 run. Eric Riba, huge game. Think about the freshman. Listen, 17 points on 23 minutes. 17 points for Solo on 29. Eric Riba, 6 of 8 from the floor with 8 rebounds and 2 blocks. 12 points. Come on, man. Talk to me. This team is legit. If we get, think about this. Your point guards. I'm nitpicking right now, but think about the point guard play right now. Malachi Smith, Silas Demery Jr. 13 minutes for Malachi. Silas had 29 minutes. They combined for 3 points. They made 1 shot. They were 3 of 4. They only made 1 free throw. And they also had, how many turnovers did they have? Malachi wasn't bad. Silas had 4 assists and 3 turnovers. Terrible. Malachi, 1 assist, 1 turnover. So if your point guard, if we had decent point guard play tonight, they win that game by 15, 16 points in Allen Fieldhouse. Anyway, this is only the beginning. Super excited. And don't sleep on the Big East. I know we're all UConn fans, and I love UConn, and I want UConn to fucking win the national championship, and I want them to win every game the rest of the year. But God damn it, Butler is pretty damn good. They beat a really solid Eastern Michigan team by 15, 16 points at home. Villanova beat a Temple team by 20. They play Michigan in a couple days. We'll see what's up. Do not sleep on these teams. And also, if you're listening to this, go to Big East Energy Network. Download all of our shows on the Big East Energy Network on Apple, Spotify. It helps me out, helps the network out. If you want to see this content more and more, let's pump the other shows up, because this Big East ecosystem is a real thing. And let me tell you something. With what I know, I am telling you, the Big East is getting ready to spend a lot of money in rev share over the next 2 or 3 years. So if you want competitive UConn basketball, do not listen to all of the people talking about all this bullshit about they have to go to the Big 12. We got to get an ACC merger. No, stay put, hold, because conference realignment is going to change, and the Big East is solid. If UConn football wants to do something, whatever, we'll talk about that another time. Okay? Stay with me. Stay live. Stay dialed in. I love you guys. Really important. Appreciate you. If you buy any UConn gear on BigEastEnergy.com right now, it is all going to the Boys and Girls Club of Connecticut. So if you live in Connecticut or you lived in Connecticut and you want to support a really good cause, I take no money off of that. It all goes to the Big East. Goes to the Connecticut Alliance of Boys and Girls Club. If you grew up in a boys club like I did, dude, get a Mullins Mania shirt, get a In Silas We Trust shirt, get a Bear shirt, get any Connecticut style hoops cap sweatshirt like my boy Nelson, who says it's one of the best sweatshirts that he's ever had, or a solo hat. There's so many different options. Great win. Mullins Mania is here to stay. Let's get after it. We'll see you next time on the Hoops Guy.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. UConn, baby.